match for Acer. They are in 4th place. Acer is in 4th place. Just keep that in mind, guys. If they lose this match, they open up the opportunity to lose their fourth place positioning to Team Liquid. They could lose it to Mouse Sports. And if you guys are just curious, the top 4 teams get, well, they go to Germany for the actual TeamStory Cup finals. So the actual losing of this match could be quite significant, losing that opportunity to go to the finals for Acer. Now, let's introduce our players spawning in the bottom right position as the Red Terran player. Coming in for Acer, he has been the comeback man. They were down 4-2. He just won the last 2, taking out Noxio, and we just saw him defeat Swagger. Can he defeat his foe one more time? It is MVP. And spawning in the top left position as the blue Protoss player. Will he be more wary of the 2-base Hellbat drops this game? Will he go for DTs again? Find out on this episode. It is MVP Swagger. And we already have the gas first opening from MMA. He's not sending out an SCV, though. And the only reason I briefly mentioned him sending out an SCV is we did see a very interesting build from MMA on Belshir Vestige a couple weeks back. He went for quite an interesting proxy reactor Widow Mines, which was maybe one of the dirtiest builds I've ever seen. I don't think even the strongest of Bleach could clean that. But Swagger's going to go for a double Assimilator. So he could himself look to be doing a little bit of get some cheddar in here, you know. We actually haven't really seen too much of that. We had the one match where we saw failed 10 pull from Bly, and then we had the 11-11 from MMA versus Noxio just 2 games back. So I guess it wasn't that long ago that we've had some cheddar. I probably just like cheddar too much when it comes to these types of situations. So we do have the Cybernetics core on the way now for Swagger. Swagger. And the factory's coming in for MMA. Getting some Marines out, just doing his thing. He's going to scout the SCV, smart move. And I feel like, you know, Swagger, it's kind of interesting because it looks like he wants to go for the Sentry expand again. He's going to start that Zealot, yeah. So he definitely wants to expand. And there are a couple of things that as a Protoss player, you kind of use to determine whether or not you complete this Zealot. Now, the positioning of the SCV is important because if you can get the probe down to the natural, if that probe goes there and the SCV's in the main base, he can still build it, and that's what he's going to do. He can still cancel the Zealot. The SCV, though, if he can get in there in time to block this, like now, the positioning of this SCV, ooh, he's going to get the Nexus. SCV will have no luck blocking that. So, nice play by Swagger to be able to get his base up when he wants it. He's going to get the Mothership Core out next. And a Starport is on the way for MMA. He's not doing anything with his factory just yet. There's the Widow Mine. And this is going to be the fastest Widow Mine drop that you really can execute. And I feel like MMA, he could do a lot of damage with this. This is a pretty critical moment, I guess, is the best way to put it. Because his opponent is going to be playing this defensively. This is the ace match. Whoever wins this match of the Acer TeamStory Cup. And it is a big deal. It's quite a big deal. Sentry's on the way for Swagger. We're seeing him open up with the same exact style that he opened up on Belshir Vestige. Pretty much just opening up with that expand. He kind of did the fake Zealot thing and then moved straight into Mothership Core out of that and then into Sentries. So he doesn't go for the early map control. He kind of concedes that to MMA. And I have to say that when you're playing versus somebody like MMA, it's not actually that bad to concede early map control because he's the kind of player that'll take it from you. You know, if you open up with that Stalker, MMA will still mess you up and get all up in your grill to try to take board control, and that's a very important thing to note. So Swagger kind of plays to that. He's playing this very defensive, passive style, but he also keeps his options open with the Dark Templar drop kind of style that we saw earlier. Now, I don't know if he's going to go for that same style because, well, he has the infrastructure set up for it. He has the resources. He has the same... Yeah, he literally has the same everything set up from the last game. But he's not doing it really fast. And now MMA, he's coming in here to put some pressure on. Photon Overcharge is activated. And this looks exactly like it did in the last game, except this time... Oh, the plays! He brings that Widow Mine in the medevac. That was dirty. And now there's just a paw full of sentries here. That's it. That's all he's got. 3 sentries to hold this. MMA, he could be going for the killing blow here. We might have a... Oh my goodness, this could actually do a ton of damage. Warp Gate's not done yet. He only has 3 sentries in the Mothership Core to hold this off. This is going to be rough. He does have the cannon in the mineral line. He will need to fall back on that, but he can put a lot of pressure on here. He does have the Widow Mine as well, and ooh, those sentries, they can't really do too much. He doesn't have an observer, but As long as he stays in between these two ferns, he should be fine. And oh, one of the sentries. Ooh, they're getting so low. They have no energy left to use force fields. One of them does fall, and now he's getting really starting to dig into at least the gateways here. Killing anything off here would be huge, but the stalkers are now being warped in. He does still have the observer, so the Widowmine shouldn't be able to do too much. And he's just going to start his support. He might actually get the stalker. That would be huge. MMA really putting on a lot of aggression. Behind this, he's adding on 2 command centers. We do have an Immortal that's about to pop out, which should help Swagger out quite significantly. Ooh, that Immortal might eat pavement on the Widowmine, though. Oop! All of its shields are gone. MMA can get on top of that. That'd actually be a huge score. Hellian's going to run into the natural mineral line. Oh, that Immortal is so close. I would love to see him try to get that, but alas, it does not seem that it was meant to be. And he's going to try to move it on the Mothership Core. Not bad. Oh, that Immortal. So expensive of a unit to lose this early on. But he's going for the gateway. He wants that gateway, and I can't blame him. The Observer, ooh, maybe I'd love if he sniped that Observer. That'd actually be pretty dirty as well. But these Marines, they can only do so much in this situation. He will have to lift up. Oh, Widowmine does get a nice shot off. I think now you bail, and that's a smart move by MMA. Just get out of there. He's done a ton of damage behind this. There is still that Immortal though, and he's gonna go into tanks for defense. But that Immortal could end up biting him in the butt later on. If he does go for some sort of counter all in him, but that's not really an option for him. He's going to get a Twilight Council, and I feel like because he took damage, we are going to see him go for, Dark Templar again. I actually think that we might see that again just because he's behind once again. He didn't lose a crazy number of probes. He did lose 5, but he didn't lose enough to lose the game. What he did happen though was the slowdown of tech, losing the sentries. There's no robotics bay on the field. There's nothing really except for that Immortal as far as techie units and the Observer. Now this medevac is going to get picked off. Nice play here. The Marines are trying to just focus down probes before they die, which is also a pretty nice way to make use of them before they are gone. And there's that Dark Shrine. So, well, I mean, I don't really know what else to tell you guys. I kind of just told you that why he needed it, but 2 bunkers are set up. He does have the Observer going to scout. Now there's a Warp Prism on the way. He has 2 bunkers full of Marines and the Siege Tank. And I think as MMA in this position, what you should be thinking to yourself is, how the hell could I possibly lose this game? And then you say, oh, he went Dark Templar the last game. You know what? I'm just going to make an engineering bay, get some missile turrets. It'll all be okay. But, well, he hasn't had an engineering bay coming in yet. He does have 3 orbital commands, though. And scanning is half the battle. So he's going to start a reactor. He's going to move into a much bigger bio play. But this is where things get tricky. He's now starting to double engineering bay. Does he have any scans? He's going to have 1 soon. He'll actually have 2 scans relatively soon. That Warp Prism is not really that close. He's putting the Immortal in this thing. You know what? That Immortal, if that Immortal ends up being like a hero Immortal, I'm gonna have to do an official write-up on this cast and just be like, look, I told you you should have killed it, MMA. You never just cripple it and leave it for dead with no legs, man. That thing will become like Darth Vader and be a lot meaner the next time you see him. But he is coming in now. He will have the Dark Templar. And the Immortal can actually kill the missile turrets really damn fast now that I think about it. But here he comes. He's going to MMA. He's going to bring the rest of his forces up. He does not have Stimpack just yet. DTs are being warped in. He has the missile turrets going up in the mineral line. Will he be here in time? He's going for the reactor on the starport. The SCVs are repairing. The missile turret is there, though, and the Dark Templar are being taken out. Solid defense from MMA. And Swagger, ooh, this is not a fun spot to be in. He does still have these units. He does still have the Immortal and the 2 DTs. He's going to drop the DTs, bring the Immortal home, and let the Dark Templars try to get a bit of board control. And that's one of the cool things that you can do with the DTs is you get board control. It's hard to move out of the field when your opponent can counterattack you with Dark Templar or when they can force you to scan on the open field. But yeah, there's just so many variables and whatnots that really come into play. As far as this goes. Now Swagger is going to be splitting up a few of his DTs. He's checking the 3rd base. Smart move. I feel like he should also use one like an Observer and just put it out front because he hasn't been really focusing too much on that. And ooh, these drops are here. He does have the Stimpack, but with that Immortal and those sentries, that +1 attack, not the smartest thing to just dive in there. So smart move to kind of keep everything back. I feel like if he tried to just split up the drops more though, like if he just made another big push, that could do wonders for him. The first Colossus is on the way, though, and MMA did salvage one of those bunkers. He could try to move out now. How many scans does he have saved? 1, 2... Oh, MMA, you dirty man. You look at this. The SCV is being put in a rather precarious position. Basically saying, hey, you're waiting for my 3rd. You're going to be super comfortable. Like, hey, man, I know you don't have a 3rd. And, well, that's going to... he's going to find it anyway. Mildly sour about that. But MMA still has a lot of units. He can still put on pressure. He can still dance. He can still do the disco. And now he's like, well, I guess I can drop some mules because I have more scans about to be available. He wants the mineral income. so that he can continue to produce these units. And Swagger was going to try to counterattack. No, he's going to go straight back over there. I can't blame him. But the first Colossus is out. We actually have 2 Colossi out right now. Third one is on the way for our Protoss player. And this is a map that really favors Colossi styles because it is so damn hard to avoid getting force fielded in some of the choke points on this map. But the faster that MMA realizes this, the better. The problem is he might not know about this until there's already 3 or 4 or so Colossi. There are currently 2. There's a third one about to come out, and I think this is a great attack, timing attack, or a great time to attack for Swagger. MMA is going to realize really quickly, I need Vikings, and now he does have them on the way. We actually should see a second starport immediately to deal with this. He's going to be overwhelmed so fast by this Colossi count. It's not even funny. Drop's going to try to hit the main base. He could try to hit the third base as well with this regular army, which wouldn't be a bad idea, of course. Once you siege up those tanks, you're basically forfeiting them. He might try to target down the Nexus, though. He is going to take down the the Mothership Core, which is nice. Oh, this Colossus. Oh, no, he's not going to go for the free farm, but this force is actually being held back, and these Zealots have charged. There's an Immortal. Siege tanks are actually complete garbage, utter trash versus Colossi with charge lot and Immortal support. So MMA's going to keep swinging this drop around, and Swagger's doing a much better job of defending himself this game. He hasn't really taken the big hits that we saw on the Belshear Vestige game. And MMA, he's still on a single starport, which is going to hurt him a lot because he, we saw how many Colossi Swagger made last game. He went up to 5 or so. And well, now he's at 4. And the thing is, MMA, when Swagger had 4 or 5 Colossi, MMA had about 10 or so Vikings. Now he's only at 6, and there's going to be 5 Colossi. I mean, once you have 8 Colossi, you're guaranteed to 2-shot any number. You're guaranteed to 2-shot a Colossus, regardless of upgrades. So these next 2 are going to be very crucial for him. But he's actually stopped the Viking production. Now he's going to resume it again. He is getting the second starport. Smart man. But is it going to be in time? With big drop, 4 medevacs loaded are going to be headed towards the main base of Swagger. His army's all the way by the third base. He's going to be scanned. He's looking around. He's like, okay, man, all is well. And if he targets down this Nexus, which I think would be the ideal scenario here, he can do a lot of damage. The Dark Templar are warped in. They're going to try to pick away at these. Of course, Dark Templar are expensive enough to warrant going for those instead. And there he goes. The Nexus is going to fall in the main. The third base being dropped at the same time. And here we see MMA doing what he does best, multitasking so hard. You're trying to out-micro his drops, but you cannot. And he is going to move in on these Dark Templar. Just a couple of Zealots in the main base. And MMA is really starting to dig into Swagger. And, well, let's just say he's going to be losing some of this Swagger after this. Going for the Dark Shrine. Such a big prize. No more DTs are going to be able to warp in this game. He's just going to boost on out. Smooth riding. That's like the big explosion. You just jump in the helicopter and fly away. And he's going to drop that third base again. Probes falling left and right for Swagger. MMA really thinning out that probe count, especially against that main Nexus. And well, the Marauders, they still trade cost effectively even when they're that outnumbered. But these Marines trying to get a Colossus. MMA, he's playing a little ballsy here. He's got balls of steel, it seems, to be able to go for the maneuvers like this. He's going to move into Ghost production, which is not bad at all. Did he actually scout the Templar Archives? I didn't see it. Where's the Templar Archives? He doesn't know. He's just being smart. That's just MMA being MMA, guys. Man, he even out-bamboozled me. He's like, I got 5 ghosts coming. He probably already has Mobius Reactor because he's that adorable. No, he doesn't. Never mind. Sorry, MMA. You're still an adorable Korean. It's okay. But he is building up his forces. He has the ghosts, and the Sonic Storm is about to complete for Swagger. He has a lot of High Templar, though, and this is a good opportunity for him to take the game because he has 6 Colossi. This is nothing to laugh at. You look at 6 Colossi, man. It's like, man, damn, he told me he had 6 Colossi. I didn't believe him. The next thing I know, I try to push him, and it got nasty fast. Now, he is going to have a really nice number of Vikings very soon, but is it going to be enough to deal with this number of them? There are a lot of Templar here, but they are quite clumped. He didn't scan the Templar, though. All he needs is 1 EMP on that big ball of Templar, and I don't think there's going to be too much he can do to stop this giant Bioforce. He's moving in now on the Colossi, stimming the Bio up. The Ghosts are all on the right side of the army. The Templar are going to come in from the left, starting to get some money. Storms in. He can get some feedbacks on these medevacs as well. Oh, really starting to deny that healing power. Swagger is going to lose all the Colossi, though. there is just enough bio here for MMA to punch through a decent number of these units. The supply is still favoring MMA due to the units that he has at home and his worker count, but as far as army supply goes, we actually see that it's even. Swagger is in a great position to go for a counterattack. This is really going to be his best opportunity to fight him here because he does have one Colossus left. The upgrades for MMA 2-2, we have +3 attack for Swagger. And, well, he's losing so much behind this. SCVs, oh, don't walk into the Colossi laser beams. The Colossus and the 2 Archons are really the big problem here because MMA, oh, he's got this bunker. I guess that's kind of nice, but, ooh, this is so rough. He needs to kill this Colossus. That's top priority, then the Archons, then everything else. The Stalkers are still, you know, they're pretty slow, they're pretty weak, pretty expensive, but, oh, that Colossus is on the retreat. The Viking might be able to kill it for free. He's not going to take any damage giving pursuit. Ooh, that Colossus has 6 hit points left. It's so close to dying. Does manage to snipe off that Viking. Nice play by Swagger, and, well, he did deny mining at the third base. The problem is that MMA can get right back to mining that, and he does have access to those mules. There's still a single Dark Templar on the field, which hasn't done anything at all this game. Just kind of sat there, waiting, biding his time for the ultimate chance at revenge against Jackie Chan. But now he is going to be swinging this drop around towards the top right side, trying to hit that third base. Not a bad play at all. And Swagger has the unit composition. He has the units that he needs. He has the Colossi and the Storm. He has that, which makes Terran players cry at night. And he also almost, I guess he's almost 3-3 charge lots. He's kind of 3-2, but that's almost good enough. Another drop's going to hit that third base. Both an overcharge is activated. He's going to focus on the probes. Very smart move here from MMA, taking out the economy before anything else. 50 probes have died in the making of this film, and he's going to take out the Zealots as well. He could go for the Nexus. The problem is, Swagger's like, okay, well, screw this. I'm just going to go and kill this off. He's going to lose his command, so he's going to drop the mules, thankfully, before he loses everything. He does have that planetary force on the bottom left side, and I feel like Swagger may have the unit composition that he needs, but I'm not sure he has enough meat to actually fight through a planetary fortress right now. I feel like Swagger's best bet, if when he does go for an attack, will be to attack into the natural expansion straight through to the main. But he's actually pulling the army back. There's no mothership core for a recall, so right now everything that MMA has is, ooh, nice actually pick off by there. Those Archons getting 5 kills pretty damn fast on those kill counters. But Swagger is going to be forced into a position where he has to attack, and that is where MMA will have his chance to win this game. He's actually very low on army supply, MMA. MMA, when I say low, I mean he's on 80, but he's not above Swagger, I guess. As a Terran player, typically speaking, you want to be ahead on army supply because a lot of your units will die just getting into position to take out the tech units. You know, you're going to lose, you know, it'll cost you a Viking or two to actually get close enough to hit the Colossi. It will cost you a Ghost or two to get close enough to the Templar, and that's why Terran player, you want to have like so many racks and just keep the army supply advantage as long as you can. If you're on even army supply with a Protoss player, you know, that's it makes things really difficult because charge lots trade really effectively when there's area of effect damage behind them, especially Archons. They're so hard. You know, you don't even think about the Colossi. Now, MMA, one thing we do have to take into account is the fact that he has a very nice army composition set up himself. Overall, we have 3 Vikings. We have 5 Ghosts, 20 Marauders, and 19 Marines. The Marauders will tank well versus the Colossi. The one problem, though, is he has got 6 Ghosts for 6 Templar and 6 Archons. He needs a lot more EMPs and snipes than that. Is he continuing to produce Ghosts? Yes, he's making Ghosts 4 at a time. That is literally all of MMA's production is Ghosts. And as far as what he should be doing, yeah, that's good. The Colossi count isn't going up, but 2 of them is 3 Vikings are gonna actually have a really hard time with that. What MMA is hoping for is that Swagger is dumb enough to attack into this planetary fortress. If Swagger attacks into the PF, we can actually already see MMA has his bio split. He's waiting. He's just like, come here. Come right here. Come to daddy. You just try to stop me from taking this base. Swagger, though, is best in position. Move into the natural expansion. Seal off that point. Use the storms to prevent the army from rushing up to help. But he's going to move into that planetary. This is it. This is what MMA wants. Will he get the engagement he needs? He's going to cloak his Ghost. There's no observers. He snipes off all of the Templar that are up front. And an absolutely fantastic play here by MMA, abusing the lack of observers. And he's going to take out all these Templar. That could... Ooh, well, these Ghosts are actually going to run out of energy. But that was actually a really nice play by MMA. And now Swagger... How many Templar does he actually have? He's got just 2 here, I think. Yeah, he's just got 2 Templar. Nice, really nice control here from MMA to be able to just take them all out for free. And he still has a lot more Ghosts available. Now we see an Observer on the way. Where is the one Observer he already has? It's in the main base. So these, yeah, he actually can't fight. He doesn't have detection. Wow, really nice play by MMA. He's going to cloak 2 more of these Ghosts and just run up. Well, he's trying to force an engagement here too, which is great because he wants to pull the army in closer so that he can get those money EMPs off with the cloaked ghosts. And now, oh, he's coming in, he's getting off all the EMPs. A lot of these ghosts are going to die though, pretty much all of them in this engagement now. And here it comes, 2 Templar though with massive amounts of energy left. Swagger, this is his one chance. He needs to kill everything right now. Some great storms being landed here by the Protoss player. Supply is so low. MMA supply is so low, though. Who's going to come out on top? There's no more Vikings. The Colossus doing its camp, but the Cloaked Ghosts really, really showing their worth here, adding in so much extra DPS. And MMA may have finally tilted the scales in favor of Acer, and MMA will win this game. Tapped out did Swagger. And that is going to be it, guys, for this Acer TeamStory Cup match with a firework finish. MMA really just, oh my god, that was some great control. And he knew exactly what he needed to do to win that game. The snipes on the Templar, the taking advantage of the fact that when every time he scanned his opponent, he saw there were no observers with the army. And that just made it so good because, I mean, Swagger moves in on the Planetary Fortress. He can drop storms in the SCVs that are repairing. He can drop storms to zone away the bio from coming to defend it. But then you lose all those storms, and suddenly all you have are Colossi and Zealots attacking a Planetary Fortress. The Planetary tanks, while the Marines and Marauders kill all the Zealots, and then you just have a bunch of Colossi versus bio. And to be honest, 3 Colossi on their own are not going to do anything versus 20 Marauders. So really great play by MMA. Absolutely fantastic. That was actually a bit of a treat to watch him execute. So really great play, especially considering the map score was 4-2 in favor of MVP not so long ago, with Noxio really just kind of going ham on the Acer roster. So great play. Congratulations to Acer. Congratulations to MVP, putting themselves one match closer to the those finals in Germany for the Acer TeamStory Cup, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the cast. I've been your English commentator today. My name is Nathanias. If you guys have enjoyed it, you can follow me on Twitch TV, where you're watching right now. You can also tweet at me at Twitter. Let me know what you guys thought about the cast. Say hello, ASL, whatnot. That's twitter.com/rootnathanias if you want to say hi. And you can also check out the VODs of this as well as other matches that I cast over at youtube.com